Run your life on vision. Run your life on vision. Welcome. This is Me Too Personal Development Insights with Suvila, where we share with you personal development insights in a simplified and a clarified manner. And the whole idea is to help you to meet yourself. In this life, it's always important to recognize that if anything is important, if anything matters, if anything counts, anything that is worth it is always hidden. And that, of course, includes yourself. But this is why our commitment is to keep bringing to you personal development insights that will help you be able to meet this self that lies deep within you. And when you meet this self, you maximize yourself. And after maximizing yourself, you manifest yourself so that you go out there into the world and fulfill your purpose and maximize your destiny. At Me Too, we also recognize the fact that the quality of life of any nation, any organization, or any family can only improve when the quality of life of its people improves. But the quality of life of the people always depends on the quality of their choices. And the quality of the choices of the people will always depend on their level of self-awareness, how much of themselves that they know. And the level of their self-awareness will always be affected by the extent of their personal development. And the extent of their personal development will always depend on the quality of insights that they get exposed to. This is why we want to share insights that will reveal the truth about you, about your friends, your family, your neighbors, so that ultimately all of us may live a life where we are comfortable being who we are, knowing who we are, and manifesting who we are. That is when life becomes meaningful, and that is when life begins to make sense. Now, previously, we covered a very powerful subject. It was titled Understanding Human Nature. Understanding Human Nature. And in there we drew some conclusions. The first conclusion we drew in the previous episode is the fact that we are called human beings for a reason. We are creatures that are prone to become. So the essence of life for a human being is in becoming. So because we become what we consistently subject ourselves to, we concluded therefore that it is important for you to always watch the environment that you keep, because whatever environment you consistently subject yourself to will end up shaping your own life. So this is why it's important to be aware of the fact that we are creatures that are prone to become. We become what we consistently subject ourselves to. So watch the environment that you keep for a prolonged period of time. The second conclusion we drew in the previous episode is that whatever you want to become in this life, your focus must be on becoming it internally. If you become it internally, then you do not have to worry about it externally. Eventually, you will manifest. Ultimately, we've been designed in such a way that who we are on the inside will always find expression externally. That's why the Bible says that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So your most important point of focus must be your inner self. Whatever you wish to become it internally, and it will definitely find expression externally. Today, I want to teach you on the power of vision, running your life on vision. So our focus today is vision. Now, here is the challenge I've found with life. And the challenge is, the moment you and I are born, the journey of life begins. The moment we are born, the journey of life begins. Now, I consider this to be a challenge because whether the destination is known or not, the journey begins. For some people, fortunately, they've been able to capture a picture of their destination. And this has made their life exciting, interesting. Every day of their life is a joy because they have a destination that they are looking forward to getting to. But unfortunately for the majority of the people out there, the destination is not known, but they are on a journey. They can feel it, that they are moving, that their life is moving. Because every day that passes adds to our existence. It adds to the number of days and the number of months and the number of years that we eventually live here on earth. So they can feel it, that their life is moving. But what gets them more and more frustrated is the fact that even though they can feel they are on the move, they do not know where they are going. So it's frustrating. So instead of enjoying life, they are enduring. So life is a cycle of frustration for them. But here is the good news. You and I, we are able to capture a picture of our destination even before we get there. This is a unique feature that we possess, that we got from our Creator Himself. There is a scripture in the Bible that reveals one quality nature of God, and that is in Isaiah 46 verses 10, where He says, I make known the end from the beginning. God is able to tell the end of a matter even before it starts. The good news is He has shared that nature with you and me. We too, we possess this unique feature in us called imagination. It is a unique feature that even sets us apart from all the other animals. Because you can imagine, you are able to see even your life ahead of yourself. You are able to imagine where you are going even before you get there. And the good news is this: with your imagination, you don't need to have money. You do not need connections. As long as you have a mind and you can see, you have the ability to capture a picture of where your life is headed. Now you have heard it said over and over again that in this life, direction is more important than speed. I agree. But direction is a function of destination. You can only be able to tell which direction to take when you know your destination. So the most important thing, even before you begin to figure out what direction to take in life, is to first find out the destination. Destination, therefore, is a function of vision. And that's why I want to passionately share with you the importance of crafting a vision, capturing a vision, coming up with this picture of where you are headed in life. Now remember, you don't need money, you don't need connections, you don't need strength, you don't need to be a certain color, you don't need to be a certain tribe, you don't need to be a certain race. As long as you are human and you can imagine, you are able to have a picture or to see a picture of yourself right on the screen of your mind. But I also wish to encourage you at this point to believe it when you see it. And this is important because somehow as we grow up, as we begin to age, the challenges of life have a way they make us begin to doubt the dreams that we have in our heads, the things that we see about ourselves in our minds. Because all of us, when we were children, if you want, you can try this experiment. If you ask young people what they wish to become, usually they answer without hesitation and without apology. Because all of us, when we are young, we are dreamers and we are excited about the things we see on the screen of our mind, and we announce it passionately. I want to be president. I want to be pilot. I want to be this. Kids say it without any traces of apology. But it's almost as if as we keep aging, life with all of its challenges makes you begin to doubt, makes you begin to think that maybe you are just dreaming. But listen to me. When you are seeing things on your mind, and we all see things in our heads, there are times I meet people who, you meet a person, they are even smiling to themselves. You can tell that this person is deep in thought. They are deep in thought and they are even smiling. Yes, all of us, we are able to see things in our heads. But I just want you to know this. The power of imagination operates like a television. Have you noticed this? The television in your house is able to show you things, events, movies, and sports or anything without necessarily happening right in your living room. If you are watching what I mean is, if you are watching a football match, for example, which is taking place in England, a live match, it's Manchester versus Arsenal. You are watching from the comfort of your sitting room. That match is happening in England, but you are able to witness the match from the comfort of your sitting room right on a television. And anytime you try to break the TV, you will not be able to see what you were watching. That is proof that the things you were watching were really not happening in your sitting room. All that you will be greeted with is smoke and a damaged TV. If you attempt to break, hoping that you catch the things or the people you were watching, that is proof that what we watch on TV does not take place in the TV, but we are able to witness it in the comfort of our living room. But here is the thing also: when you try to open the head of another human being, hoping to see what they are seeing, you cannot see. Listen, all of us, we are dreamers. We see things in our minds. We see things on the screen of our minds. I watch things. Now, did you know that the things that you watch on the screen of your mind, only you can see them? You're the only one who can see them unless you share them with us. Because even if we try to open your head in a process called an operation, as we cannot see the things you see. That's why the things you watch on the screen of your mind are worth believing, because that is also proof that the things you watch on the screen of your mind really do not take place in your head. That's why in the Bible, the story of Joseph, he was a young boy, but he saw himself sitting on the throne with everyone, including his family members, bowing before him. What he saw was not happening in his head, but he saw it. That's why eventually and ultimately it came to pass. So life is very spiritual. And what happens in the spiritual realm, we are able to see it on the screen of our mind. So that's why I thought of encouraging you to believe it when you see it. So because you don't need money, you don't need connections, you have the imagination. Right now, if you have no vision for your life, I just want you to go and get a piece of paper and a pen or a diary and begin to imagine yourself 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years from now, and believe it when you see it, because it's not happening in your head. So believe it and write it down, and then it will begin to make sense for you. Now, here are the advantages that will come with you capturing a vision for your life. This is what capturing a vision for your life will do to you. Number one, like we've said, it will make your life interesting, because it will give you the destination for your journey. So other than making your life interesting, I want to cover the 3 other advantages or 4 other advantages that will come with you capturing a vision for your life. The second thing it will do is that it is going to bring or introduce discipline in your life. The wisest king to have ever lived is believed to be King Solomon. King Solomon said this about life. He said, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." In other words, the people cast off restraint. They start to live a loose life. So discipline, according to King Solomon, of which I agree, imposes discipline on you and me. It's hard for us to be naturally disciplined. Naturally, our bodies do not enjoy discipline. So when you capture a vision for your life, it will impose discipline on your life. And this discipline will stretch in two areas. Number one, it will stretch towards your finances. You will begin to exercise discipline over your finances. You will agree with me that money is difficult. Even saving money is just difficult until you attach a reason for your saving. There's a way a reason just imposes the discipline. When you think about why you are saving, all of a sudden you get the motivation to continue saving. That's what vision will do for you. It will introduce discipline on your finances. It will help you save money, because you know you have a destination to arrive at. The other direction in which this discipline will be channeled is in your morality. You will become disciplined in your moral character. especially for men, it's just so difficult for men to exercise discipline in their moral character. Purity is so difficult for most men. I tell you, women, if you are listening to me, I want you to encourage your man to have a vision for their life, because I've come to discover this about men. No matter how beautiful the woman they date or the woman they are married to is, no matter how kind she is, no matter how loving she is, all those are not reasons strong enough to prevent a man from having extramarital affairs. The men that you see that are so disciplined that even if they were found in another part of the world and the wife is not with them and they still stick to discipline, they will tell you it's because of the vision they have, this agenda, the destiny they have for the sake of God's kingdom. It's the fear of God that makes them stay disciplined. This fear of God will come when you've captured the vision for your life, a vision of what God wants you to achieve in this life. So it's hard to be disciplined if there is no vision. That's why Solomon was right. So if you capture this vision for your life, your finances will receive a different kind of attention from you. Secondly, your morality. You will be a person of moral upwardness. Your moral character will only be influenced positively when you feel there's a vision to sacrifice your life for. But the other advantage that capturing a vision for your life will do is that it is going to eliminate jealousy and envy out of your life. These are the two deadly sins. Jealousy and envy, they sound similar, but they are not. When you are jealous of another person's blessings, you are desiring their blessings, and because you are jealousy, your greatest wish is that they lost their blessings. You are wishing they just lost them all. But for envy, again in envy, you are desiring another man's blessing, another person's blessings, your friend's blessings. But when it comes to envy, you are now wishing you were the one walking in those blessings. Listen, when you know the destination for your life through this process of capturing a vision, you will know what success means to you. And this leads me to the other point, the other advantage. It will help you to genuinely celebrate the success of your friends. That's another advantage. Yes, once you know what success looks like for you, because you've captured the vision for your life, there is no way you will give a fake smile or a fake celebration to your friends who are making it in life. You will celebrate them genuinely because you know that their success does not mean that they've taken away your own. And you can only be comfortable in that position when you know your own success and what it looks like by capturing a vision for your life. So let me just run you through the advantages that capturing a vision for your life will do. Number one, it will make your journey of life interesting. Number two, it will impose discipline on your life, discipline that will stretch towards your finances and your morality. Number three, it will eliminate jealousy and envy. And number four, it is going to help you live a life where you genuinely celebrate the success of your peers, of your friends and family. As I wrap up today's episode, I want to bring a very important point which has power to influence your ability to imagine and to see things. This is what we call environment. The environment that you keep has a way it affects your mental environment, your mental state. It has a way it affects what you imagine. Some people have not been exposed geographically. The environment they were born in is the environment they grew up in, and still is the environment they are in. So they have not received so much exposure. Therefore, the limitations of their mind have not been stretched. So one environment to watch out for is the geographical area where you are found. Sometimes it's important to move from where you are found to another place. That exposure will expand the limitations in your mind, and it will stretch the capacity to which you can stretch your mind and imagine your own life. But not everyone has the opportunity to change towns or change cities or change places. Still, you can utilize another powerful environment that books give. Books are also an environment that I encourage you to take advantage of. When you begin to read good books, you read biographies of powerful men and women who've achieved greatness. That is also another environment. And in a way, books have a way they stretch the limits in your mind. And once you do that, you stretch the limits in your mind, it will stretch how far you can also imagine your own life. It could also be music. Music is also an environment. The songs you listen to, they are the way they introduce ideas into your mind, and every idea that is introduced in your mind affects you, because this imagination can also be corrupted. If you keep a bad environment through bad movies and bad songs and bad company, you get bad ideas, and the bad ideas pollute your mind, and even you, when you begin to imagine, you'll be imagining bad things. So make sure that you guard your heart and protect it from bad things, and just allow good material, good information, good music, good movies, good friends, good company, and good books. That is what will shape now what you are able to imagine. I'll see you next time. I just wanted to remind you about the power of vision. Personal development starts with you seeing where you're headed. When you see where you're headed, that's when the journey of your life begins. I thank you so much for your attention. Thank you for following through, and I'll see you next time with yet another topic, even as we continue on our journey to personal development, where we help you to meet yourself. God bless you, and thank you so much.